I'd like to call on stage Simran, Holden, Anamita, Shilpita, and Spandana. And girls, you are going to be pretty much free to say whatever you want, because I hear from Thorol that Rashi is a very good friend. She's caring and she's very forgiving, even when her friends might hurt her. So girls, go ahead and spill the tea. Who's going first? There you go. Come up.
First off, we just wanted to say congratulations to Rashi. Hi, I'm Anamita.
And I'm Silvita. For anyone who knows Rashi, they know how determined, hardworking, and passionate she is, whether it's school or dance, and I think that we can all see that today. But what they don't know about is Rashi's love for Khalid, her inability to stop eating spicy Cheetos, and her plan to marry Siddharth Malhotra.
So as you can imagine, it was really hard for Rashi to go on a diet for the 6 months that she had to practice for her Manch Pravesh.
I mean, most people are amazed by how well Rashi's dancing, but honestly, we're more amazed by how she was able to stop eating spicy Cheetos.
I mean, she's done so much for Kathak. Rather than paying attention in class, she would practice her dance routines, hoping that Ritu auntie wouldn't yell at her like the day before.
Unfortunately, Rashi thought that I hated her, which is why we didn't become friends until sophomore year.
Well, Rashi actually hated me until sophomore year. But we're so glad that we were all able to overcome our differences because our friendship has grown into something that is so strong and beautiful over these past 2 years.
Through all the 1 a.m. grind sessions and tears shed over 10-page essays, Rashi's been there for us through it all.
But all jokes aside, dance has been a huge part of Rashi's life, and we're so proud of what she has accomplished. Her dedication and perseverance is something that is truly inspiring, and we are so lucky to call her our best friend.
Although we love watching you dance, we can't wait to go grab some ice cream after all this is over.
We love you, Rashi.
Hi everyone, my name is Pauline, and I've been best friends with Rashi for 5 years now. And Rashi, I cannot believe the day has come, the day of your Manch Pravesh. I remember back in 8th grade when I first met you. Soon after we started becoming friends, I tried a spicy Cheeto from your lunch. After that tearful experience, I didn't know if this relationship was a good idea anymore. In case you didn't know, my spice tolerance game is weak in comparison to Rashi's. But sure enough, it didn't take long until you became my best friend. I remember when we were always panicking about what was due for English that day and cramming our stems, or watching Desperate Housewives till 4 a.m. Rashi, not only am I so grateful to have you as a friend who is compassionate, determined, and insanely intelligent, but it is your passion that inspires me the most. And no, not your passion of binging to all the boys I've loved before 20 times. It is your passion that brings us all here today, your passion for dance. When I think back to when I went to your dance recital years ago, it's unbelievable to think how far you've come since then. You're absolutely amazing, and I couldn't be more proud of you today. I'll always love you to the moon and back.
Hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Simran and I've been dancing with Rashi since 5th grade, and I've been carpooling to dance with Rashi since 6th grade. Rashi and I have always had an interesting and competitive friendship, with us always bickering during our car ride to dance and fighting about who's the better dancer. Even when I was backstage with her just a few minutes ago, right before the show started, I told her that if she's not able to finish today, then that means that I'm a better dancer than her, to which she replied, well, now I have to finish because we all know that I'm better than you. Before I get into all the sappy stuff about how Rashi has become an incredible dancer and all, I'd like to start off with a quote that came directly from her when I was with her a few weeks ago. For those of you who aren't familiar with Kathak and with Ritu auntie, we have to take a test every year where we have to memorize a dance and give a written test. A few years ago, on one of the written tests, we had to research someone who is known as the founder of Kathak, named Pandit Sri Birju Maharaj. As it turns out, he has the same birthday as Rashi, which I've heard all about ever since we realized it. And while we were discussing her Manch a couple of weeks ago, Rashi said, and I quote, "Me and Pandit Sri Birju Maharaj have the same birthday, so that basically means I'm the founder of Kathak." Although Rashi may not be the founder of Kathak, she works so hard that you might as well think that she is. These past few years, I've seen Rashi's hard work and passion for dance, and whenever our dance class is tying our gungurs in the room before class starts, I always lean towards Rashi and ask, "Did you practice?" with her response being, "Yeah, you didn't." After I completed my Manch last year, I found out that Rashi was going to be completing hers this year, and I was so excited for her. Whenever she took me home from school or when we went to dance, we'd always talk about how her preparations are going for dance and what she's doing, whether it was how bad the smoothies were that she had to drink every day or how much she had practiced. I know that Rashi's been very stressed and nervous for today, but I'm so proud of everything that she's accomplished, and I can't wait to see the rest of the show.
Hi everyone, I'm Spandana, and I'm one of Rashi's friends. To give you all a backstory on our friendship, Rashi and I met halfway through freshman year, when we were coincidentally put into the same hotel room for FBLA. And just like any normal human being, I believe the first question I asked Rashi was whether or not she hated me, to which she replied, "No, I thought you hated me." I'm so glad that she replied that way, because if not, who knows where I would be today. If I had to describe Rashi in one word, I would have to say Rashi is motivated. She has a certain drive that not only inspires me, but everyone else around her. Whether it's in dance or in academics, she always strives to put her best foot forward. And not to mention, she has the best way with words. You can always count on Rashi to say the best things at the right times. I'm truly honored to call such a talented and beautiful individual one of my closest friends. And just like she has done today, I know she'll go on to do many more great things in her life.
Thank you so much, girls, for those incredible words and support for Rashi. I'm sure she very much appreciates it, and she'll forgive you for the little bit of dirt that you scooped over there. So we've told you a little bit about Rashi. I'd like to take a few moments to tell you about the other main character for tonight, and that is Rashi's guru, Bhutuparna Mukherjee. She is an integral part of the Kathak career for Rashi, as well as many of her students. She was born in Kolkata, and she grew up in a little town right outside of there. She started her Kathak training at the tender age of 4 and was very quickly moved up and received her Visharad at the age of 15. She trained under different gurus, including different gurus who trained under the legendary Pandit Sri Birju Maharaj. She has a master's in zoology, but she actually prefers working with us animals instead. So she has dedicated the last 15 years to dance, and she has opened up her school, and it has been growing year after year tenfold since then. Ritu is usually very humble, and she doesn't like me to say very much about her. But what can I do when she accomplishes so much in such a short amount of time? She has worked on multiple programs for our community, basically hundreds of events that she's a part of throughout the years. She has been asked to be a part of Dance Plus Season 3, an Indian reality dance show, and her students got to partake in that. She received a Teacher Appreciation Award by the City Council and the Hindu Center. She has been asked to be a part of a Hollywood short film, which I heard received some sort of a nomination, which will be announced pretty soon. She is also going to be featured in PBS Charlotte coming this fall. She has a 5-page feature article written up about her in Valentine magazine and was also featured in Charlotte Parents. So ladies and gentlemen, how can I tell just a little bit about her? She also has 3 beautiful children who are also training to be dancers, and she is married to UNCC Professor Ari Mukherjee. I would like to call back on stage our beautiful guru, so talented, so brilliant, to present us with the second half of our program. Please welcome back Ritu Mukherjee.
Thank you so much. I hope you all liked the tea break. Much needed, yes. Rashi is back in form to start presenting her second half for this wonderful evening. And I welcome you all back again on Janmashtami. She's going to start her next presentation with a Durga Vandana. To the divine goddess who resides in all existence in the form of power, we bow, we bow, we bow to her, presiding over the senses of all beings and pervading all existence. To the omnipresent goddess who individualizes creation, we bow, we bow. In the form of consciousness, she distinguishes the individual phenomena of the perceivable universe. We bow, we bow, we bow to her. Ya Devi Shivabhuteshu Shakti Nupena Samastita Namastasvai 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 Namo Namaha. An invocation to Ma Durga, the universal mother, the embodiment of the most powerful woman, our protector, Ma Durga, based on Kaharva, an 8-beat time cycle, Rashi presenting her favorite piece, Durga Vandana. So now you know why that was her favorite piece, because she presented it beautifully. And she was no less than Ma Durga's beauty and Ma Durga's power. Those eyes were just gorgeous. It took us almost 2.5 to 3 hours to get that whole makeup ready. So please give her another round of applause. It's a terrific preparation. And it's a wonderful experience. It's just not learning dance. It is so much more than just training. We get to know each other so well. We get to know each other's drawbacks, our strengths, and so many secrets. And it is such a wonderful journey, such a wonderful bond between me and Rashi. And not only Rashi, every student that I train for Manch Pravesh, she takes up my gotra for today, and she takes an oath that she is going to carry on being under my gotra when it comes to dance. And that's what she did today. She is dancing to get Lord Shiva's blessings. But since it's Janmashtami, I'm going to quickly give her a little break and sing a small tumri based on Holi. Rag Basant. So during the festival of Holi, there's a lot of colors flying in the air, and in all the different alleys, or the different streets and lanes, or the girls are playing and running away because Lord Krishna is grabbing them and putting colors on them. This particular song was very beautifully taken by Bollywood and converted. This original song was based on Iqbal, which is 12-beat time cycle, but this particular composition was very well made by the same Guru, Pandit Shri Brij Maharaj, who has choreographed in the movie and sang in the movie, and it was, I think, a big blockbuster. It is called Devdas. And the song goes, Kahe chere chere mohe garbala mae nand ko Same concept. The gopis or Radha is complaining that Lord Krishna is constantly, grabbing her and wanting to play with her and not letting her go. And he's so stubborn that he will not listen, and he has to stop her every single time to play with him. So that was a composition by sung by Pandit Shivraj Maharaj. And in this evening, Rashi will also present another composition that is done and sung by Pandit Shivraj Maharaj. And what a coincidence. She shares the same birthday as the living legend of Kathak, 4th of February. Anyways, so moving on, we have Saraswati Vandana next. Saraswati Vandana is a mantra out of many mantras that are chanted to gain favor of Hindu goddess Ma Saraswati, who is the mother of the Vedas and the champion of knowledge, wisdom, and art. And Vandana is a Sanskrit word meaning wisdom. A nritya, or a semi-technical presentation based on Tivra, which is a 7-beat time cycle. This is a Lashya, comparison to Tandava that she presented at the last piece of her first half, which was an angry mode of dance. This is a Lashya, which is a more soft, graceful version of dance, which literally means beauty, happiness, enchanting, and grace. Rashi presented Saraswati Vandana.
Jaya
That was beautifully presented. That was a presentation on a 7-beat time cycle D round, which goes D, D, na, D, na, D, na, D, D, na, D, na, D, na. And the one that she presented, the tal that she presented, Durga Vandana, was on 8-beat time cycle, which is da, din, da, di, 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 na, din, da, di, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Now, the time cycle is very important in Kathak because we base the whole thing on those 8 beats or 7 beats or 16 beats or 14 beats, whatever beats we choose. All the bowls have to come back to sum, which is the starting point. Everything has to be based on 14 or 10 or 12 or whatever tal, those time cycles. It cannot be, if you're presenting a dance that is based on Thamar, it cannot finish on the 10th beat. It has to finish on the 14th beat or the 7th beat, because 7 is half of 14. So it's a little tricky, and it is a training process that all the dancers go through to understand this concept. And during this training process, there is so much the body goes through. It involves tremendous amount of practice, tremendous amount of commitment, and this is just not a matter of 1 or 2 months. She has been working on this for last 6 months, and the planning, I think, started last November. And this training process involves a lot of muscle memorization, because it is humanly impossible for any dancer to present so many dances just from this memory. So it is about your soul and your muscles that is dancing today. Your soul is praying to Lord Shiva to come and bless and come live to bless her. And the muscles are delivering the dance today. And in this commitment process, I cannot forget the involvement of the family. Please give Kamlesh and Dorul a big round of applause. These 8 to 9 years of journey have been very pleasant, and I especially thank two of you to have that trust and faith in me. With so many variety around the town, you stuck to me, and not only with your presence, but I feel that with your soul, with your mind, with everything, you are connected to me. And thank you, Kamlesh and Dorul, for refurnishing our studio. They made our studio more prettier with those lovely shelves and the closets for more storage. Thank you so much, Kamlesh and Dorul, for doing that for us. Please give them a big round of applause. And in this process, I think Dorul, I know Kamlesh has worked hard a lot, but I have been meeting Dorul every single morning or every single evening, afternoon, whenever I asked her to bring Rashi. She was always a yes. She never said that, no, I cannot do it, because she kept everything as her secondary. Rashi was her main focus this time. So thank you, Dorul, for bringing her for every practices. But the fun part was observing Dorul when Rashi was dancing. I mean, I always say most parents do that, but it was fantastic to watch Dorul dancing with her face, only her face, not her body. So I sometimes felt like I should stop her from doing that, but I felt that she'd get conscious and should not do it anymore. So I did not check you, but I always had my eye on you to see how involved you were and how much you were correcting Rashi at home on what should the expressions be at what point, because you were actually sitting and doing it in front of her. And I have, I have elephant's memory and have eyes everywhere. So, and my son often wants to see those other eyes where they are. But, but those are funny jokes that we always go through during, these sessions, because it is just not about dance training. It is about a bonding that happens between our two families. And thank you so much for being there with me every single time I needed you guys. So as parents, they did an awesome job. I'm sure you must have noticed it, experienced it outside. And they have organized a wonderful dinner as well. So, and where is Radhika? Radhika, thank you so much for creating the beautiful video and sometimes being there at the practices as well. So let's give the Jagani family a big round of applause, please. Now we're going to move on to our next dance presentation. This will be a Nritta. It is very important for a Kathak dancer to master Nritta, Nritya and Natya, because Kathak is derived from the word Katha, which means story. Katha kahe so Kathak, and we are the Kathakars. And for us, all three aspects, mastering all three aspects are very important. In spite of Kathak starting initially to just tell stories, it later got its technicality during the Mughal period. And it traveled to Persia and reached its final destination in Spain and took the form of flamenco dancing. So you will notice flamenco dancing have a lot of stances and footworks that are quite similar to Kathak. This presentation will be based on 10-beat time cycle Chapta, and she will be portraying all her ornaments that she has learned in this whole coursework, starting with Tatkar, which is footwork. Tatkar